Vienna Waltz. The grand ballroom of the imperial palace in Vienna glittered with the light of 1,000 chandeliers. The walls were lined with tall mirrors, reflecting the golden glow of the room. The soft hum of conversation was punctuated by the gentle clink of champagne glasses and the rustle of fine silk gowns. Tonight was the annual Vienna Waltz Ball, a tradition that had lasted for generations. It was a night filled with elegance, charm, and the promise of magic. Amelia stood at the entrance of the ballroom, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nerves. She had only been in Vienna for a few weeks, studying music at the prestigious conservatory, and this was her first time attending such a grand event. Her family back in England had always dreamed of seeing her dance at a ball like this, and now, here she was, feeling as though she had stepped into a fairy tale. She glanced down at her dress, a pale blue gown with delicate lace that shimmered in the candlelight. Her long, dark hair was pinned up with a few loose curls framing her face. Amelia had always loved to dance, but the thought of waltzing in front of such a grand audience made her stomach flutter with uncertainty. "Are you all right?" a voice beside her asked. Amelia turned to see a tall, handsome man with dark hair and kind brown eyes standing next to her. He wore a tailored black suit with a crisp white shirt, looking every bit the perfect gentleman. His smile was warm, and for a moment, her nerves eased. "I'm just a little nervous," she admitted, brushing a stray curl from her face. "It's my first ball." "Ah, I see," the man said, his smile widening. "Well, it is a bit overwhelming, isn't it? But don't worry. Once the music starts, you'll forget about everything else." Amelia nodded, feeling slightly reassured. "I'm Amelia, by the way." "Leon," the man replied, bowing slightly. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Amelia. And if you don't mind, I'd be honored to have the first dance with you." Amelia blinked in surprise. She hadn't expected to be asked to dance so quickly, and certainly not by someone so charming. But there was something about Leon's easy confidence that put her at ease. She hesitated for only a moment before nodding. "I'd love that." As the orchestra began to play the first notes of the waltz, Leon took Amelia's hand and led her onto the dance floor. The music swelled, filling the ballroom with the rich sound of violins, cellos, and a grand piano. Couples began to twirl gracefully, their movements in perfect harmony with the music. Leon placed his hand gently on Amelia's waist, and she rested her hand on his shoulder. As they began to move, she felt the rhythm of the waltz guide her steps. Her earlier nerves melted away, replaced by the sheer joy of dancing. Leon led her effortlessly across the floor, and soon, it felt as if they were the only two people in the room. "You're a natural," Leon said with a grin as they spun across the polished marble floor. Amelia laughed softly, feeling her cheeks flush. "Thank you. You're a wonderful dancer." As they continued to waltz, the world around them seemed to fade. The soft glow of the chandeliers, the elegant sweep of the ballroom, and the sound of the orchestra all blended into a dreamlike haze. Amelia felt as though she were floating, lost in the music and the moment. When the song ended, there was a burst of applause, but Amelia barely noticed. Her heart was still racing from the thrill of the dance, and she found herself smiling at Leon as they stood together on the dance floor. "Shall we take a break?" Leon suggested, leading her off to the side of the ballroom, where a small balcony overlooked the city of Vienna. The cool evening air was a welcome relief after the warmth of the ballroom. Amelia leaned against the stone railing, gazing out at the city lights below. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" she murmured. "Vienna is magical at night," Leon agreed, standing beside her. "It's easy to get lost in its charm." Amelia glanced at him, curious. "Are you from here?" Leon nodded. "Born and raised. My family has lived in Vienna for generations." "What about you?" I detect a bit of an accent. "English?" "Yes," Amelia replied with a smile. "I'm from London. I came here to study music at the conservatory." "Ah, a musician," Leon said, his eyes lighting up. "That explains the grace in your dancing. Music must be in your soul." Amelia blushed again, surprised by how easy it was to talk to Leon. "I've always loved music. It's been my passion for as long as I can remember." Leon nodded thoughtfully. "Vienna is the perfect place for someone like you. Then, there's music in every corner of this city, from the street performers to the grand symphonies. It's a city that lives and breathes music." They stood in comfortable silence for a moment, the soft sound of the waltz music drifting through the open doors. Amelia felt a deep sense of contentment, as if this was exactly where she was meant to be. "Tell me," Leon said after a moment, turning to face her. "What's your dream, Amelia? Why did you come all the way to Vienna?" Amelia hesitated, her mind swirling with thoughts. "I suppose I came here to find myself, to figure out who I am as an artist, and what I want to create." Leon smiled softly. "That's a noble pursuit. And have you found the answers you're looking for?" "Not yet," she admitted with a laugh. "But being here tonight, dancing in this beautiful place, I think I'm starting to." Leon stepped closer, his gaze warm and steady. "Sometimes the answers come when you least expect them, and sometimes they come in the form of a waltz." Amelia met his gaze, feeling her heart flutter once again. There was something in his eyes, a quiet understanding, a kindness that made her feel as though she had known him much longer than just one evening. As the music changed to a slower, softer melody, Leon held out his hand once more. "Shall we dance again?" Without hesitation, Amelia placed her hand in his, and they returned to the dance floor. The rest of the evening passed in a blur of music and laughter, each dance more enchanting than the last. By the time the final waltz played, Amelia knew that something had changed. Vienna, with its music and magic, had begun to weave its spell around her, and Leon, with his charm and kindness, had become part of that spell. As the night came to an end and the guests began to leave, Leon walked Amelia to the entrance of the palace. The cool night air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the stars twinkled brightly above. "Thank you for the dance," Leon said, his voice soft. Amelia smiled, feeling a warmth in her chest that she hadn't felt in a long time. "Thank you for showing me the magic of Vienna." They stood there for a moment, the night quiet around them, before Leon gently lifted her hand to his lips and kissed it. "Until we meet again," he whispered, before turning and disappearing into the crowd. As Amelia watched him go, she knew that Vienna had given her something she hadn't expected, something more than music or art. It had given her the possibility of love, wrapped in the rhythm of a waltz, and the promise of a future she was only beginning to imagine.
Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, and share our channel Magic Mingle with your friends to enjoy more magical stories.